How much there was a lot of talk going into the last couple of rounds about people not wanting to face Kai in round 1 today. How much of that was about not wanting to face Kai, and how much of that was not wanting to face the White Weenie deck?
I think it was both. It was like I don't want to face off against this this particular weapon in the hands of this skilled marksman. It was
Sure.
it was definitely both. We actually had a very funny scenario where Marin Lebert and Brad Nelson were paired in the final round, and normally right there they just shake their hands and move on with an intentional draw. But as they sat down, Brad wanted to concede to possibly dodge playing Kai this round, and Marin in response conceded.
You concede? Stack that? I concede.
So they actually had to get the head judge to determine who could concede the match.
And it turns out
that they could both lose the match, or they could intentionally draw.
Yeah, they can be given a double loss. There is a button in DCI Reporter, and our chief scorekeeper, Nick, was very excited. He said, I haven't pressed that button in about 7 years.
16 to 8.
It takes a lot to get scorekeepers excited.
Brad's readying himself for some attacking here, but
there are some blockers available.
Not in the air, though. So
Putrid Leech.
No. +3/+3 and flying attack for 5.
Oh, fine. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
put you at 11.
Kai got excited. He thought he pumped it with the Putrid Leech's ability as opposed to with Elspeth.
No, I'm going to make it even bigger and fly rather than hurt myself.
Yeah.
So what do I draw now? Crusade?
No, but he did pump it.
Crusade.
Did he pump it both
Okay.
ways? Yes.
No, just to
he did
11.
not. Okay.
Kai goes to 11.
Okay. I just saw the life change catch up. Yeah, he did not want to go to 6 where a Honor the Pure would kill him.
Nope. It looks like on the top right of the screen just a moment ago we see that Kai has 1 card in hand right now.
Keep in mind that, again, that if at some point, Kai is in danger, that Treetop Village has trample.
The big T, one of the best keywords in Magic.
That could be relevant. 6/6 flying ape.
Yep. Because you won't kill a third of a Spectral Procession with that. You'll kill it all and then pile through.
The 1 swamp is still in your deck, right?
It's sounding a lot like Paul Rietzel's about to... I tried to do both there.
I saw what you did there.
Sounds like he's about to go up 2-0 on Thomas Ma, which was not supposed to be a favorable matchup for him. But you can't discount experience once you get to the top 8.
Nope. Air Force there again. Spectral Procession doing the business. Although it is not yet 2-0, it is just looking like 2-0. So for all you Ma fans out there...
And we've seen people come back from 0-2 holes to win Pro Tours before.
Sure. Indeed.
Granted, they were LSV.
Yep. He faced 6 elimination games en route to winning Pro Tour Berlin 2008, which was also extended.
So funny that the pace of play that Kai has with White Weenie is just not what you associate with the deck normally. Right? It's just always like, just like sloppily tapping all your cards and sending them into the red zone and then just sort of asking if they're dead.
Yeah.
But he plays it as a little bit more cautiously, shall we say.
Level up.
Pump Student of Warfare, Pump Student of Warfare.
Level up.
Looks like we have a double striking, fully leveled Student of Warfare. I think they're waiting for. I can't see the pips there.
Okay. It looks like 6. Looks like a big 6.
So not quite yet.
Oh,
there, yeah. I thought they were looking for another pip. There we go.
Ta-da!
So that's a 4-4 double strike.
Indeed it is.
What?
Of course, lest we forget, that Elspeth sitting at the top of your screen is at 6, gets to 8, and then gets to do her ultimate.
Right.
That's pretty serious.
I don't feel like this game is going to go that many turns.
So Kai is.
I don't think there are three full turns left in this game, one way or the other. One way or the other.
That's what my guy does. And that thing goes +3, right? +3, no, that thing in your hand. +3 minus.
Sounds like Guillaume Wafataba's putting up a bit more sterling defense in game 2 against Moraine Leibert. Leibert's still doing nicely because he has a Revel Arc in play that is going through the air. Wafataba has at least got as far as a pair of Wall of Omens, which draw him some cards and get him deeper towards his Mystical Teachings engine that can just get any amount of stuff. Hope you saw the great deck tech we were able to record with the Control Master yesterday. We'll be going there, by the way, at the conclusion of this game 1 in Nelson against Buddha. Get a look at Fish against Teachings.
So Kai has decided he can't, he's got to leave some Spectral Procession tokens back. Maybe wait for a Brave the Elements to get the win. In the meantime, he's going to, say, trade something with this Student of Warfare. I mean, it will kill you if you don't block. And, poke for 1 in the air as well.
So 2 in the red zone. Julian Naughton, 2004 World Champion, got his first feature match of the weekend. He said, what happened? Where's the red zone gone? What's this grey zone about?
Yeah.
Soldier, I've got a mission for you.
Yep,
right?
die. So, 1 more point comes through. There's another figure of destiny from Kai. And he is now tapped down. So that does give Brad a counter-free turn where he knows that there will be no braving of the elements.
The technical term for this is pants down.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Brad boosts his knight, thins his deck.
Jacob in the background in his first Pro Tour top 8, super experienced.
Gets another Murmuring Bosk.
Nine monsters, creatures on Kai's side of the table. Currently 3 for Brad, but all creatures are not created equal.
Right. Brad is still holding that Nameless Inversion, which will notch the Tormorgoyf up one more spot. He could kill his Planeswalker and get it all the way.
Seven counters on the Student of Warfare, but it will not get involved this turn. And will Brad's right hand be replaced by Brad's army
Another dice, please.
on this turn?
You don't have any more?
I think I'm out of dice.
Dice.
Yeah. Dice?
Nope. Brad's just going to fortify with a token. If he's not attacking in the air, he has a hard time getting through on the ground.
He's up to. Hold on.
And that will take Elspeth to 7.
You make a token, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
make a token.
his ulti,
Kai just
ultimate
moves the
is
dice out the way and says,
that's
yeah, I
what
just
I'm
want to
saying,
check exactly how many you have to get to before that Elspeth does stuff.
Go.
What? Creature combat? I'm sorry, that's not.
Now, one of the lovely
That
interactions in
symbol.
the Teachings deck is that once you have Teferi Mage of Zalfir down, you can just accidentally go and get a Grave Titan. And that's what Michael Jacobs managed to do to equalize. He squares it up against Brian Kibler. So they are at 1-1 and will now play the best of 3 to advance to the semi-finals. All these players, by the way, guaranteed 12 pro points this weekend, 16 for the semi-finalists, 20 to the winner. to the
This is 7-7
finalist
now, or?
and 25 to the winner.
Jacob said that Grave Titan was the worst card in his deck.
Yeah, it's just won him a game in the
Yeah,
top 8. So
I mean, he
never
might like
mind.
it a little more now.
I doubt it. He probably still hates it.
Yeah, he said it was essentially his third
Oh,
cruel
take-
ultimatum. So
Move for 1.
again, attack for 1.
6.
11-6.
And here comes Ranger of
Four
Eos.
mana. So that's an invitational card.
Pretty ugly. right?
Kai was joking that he's like, why is his invitational card so good and mine's so bad? It's like, it's not fair.
So that's Antoine Ruel for Ranger of Eos and Void Mage Prodigy for Kai. Another invitational winner with a card, the Rakdos Augur Mage, Terry So of Malaysia was here this weekend, and he put up a terrific bunch of numbers.
He finished 10th.
Yeah, he was
he
right in the mix for the top 8 going down the stretch, and only 1 point adrift, as you say, in 10th place.
And it's funny, if Kenny Oberg's tiebreakers had been just a tiny bit better, and these players had been sort of forced to play matches, Terry So with his tiebreakers might have snuck into that 8th spot.
Yeah, there was a point at which we thought 36 points might sneak you in. But not the way it worked out. 37 and Oberg on the outside looking in. The Grand Prix Gothenburg champion of last week.
Yeah, the top 16 of this event, I mean, has just, incredible. Okay, let's keep an eye on what's going on here now.
Elspeth at 7. Putrid Leech. Fetch land for Brad.
like I'm
Knight
dead.
of the Reliquary taps.
Am I dead? Not yet.
So Nelson down to 5. Has his soldier token, the Tarmogoyf.
It's not a good answer for
Brian
Martin. I don't
Kibler
think.
providing some off-camera comedy.
Laugh track.
Yeah. And as we thought, Paul Reitzel has indeed taken a
You got some
2-0
nice-
lead over Tom Marr
Get there.
on the back table.
Brad doesn't see the card he wants on top. I mean, it
Does
was just a
not.
matter of strict numbers. Was dead to an all-out
I
attack
see
from
that.
Kai next turn. Kai shows him the honor of the pure that was on top of his deck.
And that is 1-0 to Kai Buddha. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave their
Well,
match because
proceeded.
they're going to be here for a
I would
little
have next
while,
turn.
it's fair to say. And we're going to take you to Table C, which is Moraine Libert currently 1-0 up over Guillaume Wafatapa. But on our way there, we're going to introduce you to the players in their own words. So here are the top 8 in their own words.
Brad Nelson, 24, United States of America.
Paul Rietzel, 25, United States of America.
Brian Kibler, 29, United States of America.
Guillermo Fredapa, 29, France.
Michael Jacob, 26, United States of America.
Marijn Leibart, 25, Belgium.
Kai Budde, 30, Germany.
Thomas Ma, 19, USA.
How good were those glasses?
Thomas Ma, I posted an iPhone video to YouTube last night, and it's just like all the players coming out, and it's just like Thomas Ma with his tongue out, like just completely rocking out in the orange sunglasses, just having a great time. Did not look phased at all by the level of competition. Felt like I've been trying to get here my whole life. This is where I belong.
Not that easy.
Fantastic.
It took me 25 before my first one, no big deal. I mean,
Looking at a lot of counters. Looking at a lot of counters on Guillaume Wafatapa's side of the board. Are those planeswalkers? I can't see with the glare.
I would imagine that those are many, many, many vivid lands.
Very shiny.
Yeah, Guillaume Wafatapa is a big foil fan, it's fair to say.
He doesn't want us to be able to read his cards. He puts them in foreign languages. He makes them shiny.
Oh, it's such a killer. Yeah, we're doing the deck tech, and I'm looking at 4 Wall of Omens. And there's one Japanese, there's one Chinese, there's one French. I'm like, oh, there's a Wall of Omens that's like using the alphabet. That's handy.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean.
So it looks like we've got a Merfolk Sovereign on the other side of the table.
What's
For Moraine Libert, we'll get you live scores as soon as we can.
10 lands in play on 10 lands in play on Wafatapa's side of the table. So he's winning on the metric his deck really worries about. So it sounds like the life totals here, which haven't been updated on screen yet, are 12 for Marine LeBaire and 11 and 7?
12 and 7.
7
Libet
for
has 12.
Waffatapa.
Waffatapa has 7. And there you see Mystical Teachings coming down.
Much more importantly, it seems to me that, Waffatapa has 10 lands, and he has Mystical Teachings going. Yeah, I don't know that a lone Merfolk Sovereign is going to get the job done from here.
One would imagine it may not. The Sovereign can make something unblockable.
There's a Smother, I believe. That gets caught.
So Waffatapa untaps. You'll find he has a rather longer untap step than most players in this top 8. At least that's what he hopes.
Yeah.
Off we go. There's the Smother. Grave Titan.
New
plus friends.
New classic cards from Avalanche. So big it has to go into the red zone.
Yeah. So the Black Zombies come alongside Great Britain Nationals a couple of weeks ago. There were a whole series of M11 rotisserie drafts. There were 9 on the weekend. Grave Titan was the first pick 9 times out of 9.
Cryptic Command did
not resolve
because of Mana Leak, and on to Game 3.
Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a little look at the sideboards for Moraine Libet and Guillaume Waffatapa as they shuffle up for their game. BDM, how do you see this one? I guess one of... is there an edge either way that you can see?
I think there's not a lot in... There's not a lot of additional cards in Marin's deck that he really wants. I mean, there's a Spreading Seas that he may want to bring in to put him off his mana, his 3 main deck. The 3 Relic of Progenitus are pretty relevant against Mystical Teachings. Revelark's probably pretty big against all that removal. And then
there you see Moraine's sideboard. So
Glenalendra Archmage is also pretty exciting. So I would guess maybe he's bringing in Relics, Revelarks, and Glenalendra Archmage. And then looking at Guillaume's sideboard, I imagine, we're seeing, Damnations. I believe he brought in Ricochet Trap.
Yeah, Guillaume did some pretty funky stuff with Ricochet Trap. You get to change the target of a spell with a single target, and as long as your opponent's played a blue spell, you get to play it for just 1. That's the trap cost.
So I think we may see that.
So
and obviously the Smother, which he had brought in.
So we will stay with these two for their game 3, Moraine Libet against Guillaume Waffatapa. Let's tell you a little bit more about these two. Waffatapa, the champion of Pro Tour Yokohama, of course, in 2007. And then the one that people forget about him is that he made the top 8 of Pro Tour Kuala Lumpur in 2008 because, of course, obviously the gigantic story of that event was you not being there, BDM.
Yeah.
And, of course, more seriously, John Finkel winning the entire tournament. Nikolai Herzog was Hall of Famer. There you see Guillaume Wafatapa's resume. What I love about this is he used his level 3 invite, because Waffatapa fell off the train at the end of last season, as it were, at Rome, didn't quite get what he needed. And
which is what, Mystical Teachings being legal in a format on the Pro Tour?
That's right, yeah. Patrick Chapin talking with Guillaume about Extended then, and Guillaume said, I just can't find a control deck I can make work anymore. And you are exactly right, that's what happened. But he said, it's all right, there's a PTQ next week, and the following week he goes off, I think it was to Toulon, and he duly wins a sealed PTQ, which gets him into San Diego. And then he gets himself up to the 15 points he needs for his 1 level 3 invite, and he says, well, it's just down the road, I'll come to Amsterdam. Much more to the point, I can bring Mystical Teachings with me. And here he is. Fantastic.
And qualified for Worlds now.
Yes, so we will see him in Chiba in Japan, which is going to be an incredible week of gaming. And what about his opponent, Moraine Libert? There you see him. Well, I say you see him. You see some, you see some hair
You see
in
the
a
corner
t-shirt.
of his face.
Yeah. And an absolutely tremendous story for him. The fact, there you see, look at that run of events. 07 Geneva, 08 Hollywood, 09 Worlds in Rome, and now here in Amsterdam in 2010. And every time he has a reason that he's going to have to leave Magic, at least super competitively. And every time, the one event that he's left with, he manages to eke out the performance that really delivers.
And he's got a job waiting for him just a couple weeks out from this event. And I think that if he gets out of the quarterfinals here and makes a deep run, that you could see his job plans for the immediate future change. I think it's possible that he could say, well, I can make a living playing Magic.
And he certainly has the resume to suggest that whilst Magic will never be a stable job for anybody ever, you could say, well, look, every year you're going to see me on the computer. So, I believe his girlfriend has a plan already for some of Moraine's winnings.
I think she's looking for a car.
And you can see behind Tom Ma, not in the glasses, up against Paul Reitzel, and 2-0 down to Reitzel at the moment. Reitzel. We know it's Reitzel now.
It's funny. I've known Paul for a long time. He's a old-time East Coast player. No one ever called him by his last name. He was always Little D. He was like the next big competitive player to come out of the Your Move game scene, so everyone just called him Little D, as in Little Darwin, because he, was coming up through those ranks. Wow. We didn't even know he had a last name.
So there's Guillaume Wafataper. Just so assured, and coming up through the ranks 2006, 2007 around the European Grand Prix circuit. One of the things that's so impressive about him is he will sit there with a hand of 6 and 7 land and will make you beat him. And sometimes you won't beat him when he has a hand of 6 and 7 land.
Sure. Well, I mean, one of the things about Guillaume that's so amazing is how even he remains at all times. Whether he's winning, losing, you actually have no idea what's in his hand, but his demeanor never changes.
Incidentally, if you're wondering what was on Guillaume's back there, that was a figure that looked slightly unfamiliar to many of us. Well, that turns out to be a new Scars of Mirrodin card, new Planeswalker. We'll be looking at that later on. We've got a bunch of Scars of Mirrodin cards to show you during the day.
So while those guys are deciding whether or not they're going to keep their opening hands, I'll just give you a little update on the Brad Nelson and Kai match that is going on right now in Game 2. Brad Nelson's come out of the gate very fast, while Kai has come out a little slow. His first play was Honor the Pure. He's just played a Knight of the White Orchid to go get a land, have a 3/3 first striker, but Brad came out very quickly with a Loam Lion and a Knight of the Reliquary.
Nice start for
I
him.
don't know. It would not necessarily would seem very quickly, actually, in light of the draws that Kai's deck is normally capable of. But in this case, he definitely has the advantage.
I can also tell you that in the match that is 1-1 between Mike Jacob and Brian Kibler, Kibler is struggling for land. He has 3 in play. 2 of those are treetop villages. As Jacob says, well, at least you've got a plan, which I suppose is one way of looking at it. But looks like Jacob is doing quite nicely in Game 3. Ma against Reitzel, remember 2-0 to the White Weenie deck of Paul Reitzel.